Did you know that you must be aware and beware of teenage pregnancy?
Pleasant day to all of you. I am Joy Marie Nacua. Today, we will be talking about some pressing issue on today's world from the perspective of teenagers. Some says it is preteen childcare, and some says it is minor parenthood, but it is properly known as teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy is a multidimensional concern that impacts individuals around the world, but it is particularly prevalent in Asia and South Africa. There are many factors that contribute to this problem, including economic hardship, social inequality, sexual identity violence, drug addiction, limited access to contraceptives, and difficulties in terminating pregnancies, low intermittent and improper usage of contraceptives, a restricted number of medical providers, and a host of other issues are among them. Teenage pregnancy is a result of various factors like lack of knowledge, stressors in the environment influenced, peer pressure, family problems, and many more. But it all boils down to one specific notion, which is the lack of implementation of giving people, especially the teenagers, the knowledge that they need to know about reproduction, family planning, and life living. According to Paranjote and his co-authors in 2009, teenage pregnancy produces problems in the socioeconomic aspect of the nation. Pregnancy and childbirth in its early years could also create another problem in having weak foundation of living and a situation of family rights. The stigma of the old culture in which people prohibits young adults to undergo education about sex is one of the factors that hinders the society to prevent such activities that might lead to teenage pregnancy. Having teenage pregnancy does have a lot of consequences in every aspect of living, such as the physical, emotional, and financial. Even on the societal foundation, it affects the socioeconomic, political, and even the environment on the wider view as stated by scholars in Harvard University from their article in 2001. So, how can we prevent it? Simple answer: education and discipline. According to the studies of different scholars from the universities in the United States, their main conclusion on how to prevent teenage pregnancy is to teach children how to use contraceptives and discipline children about intimacy and sex. Research shows that it is effective when parents do not prevent teenagers from knowing what sexual activity is. Letting them know will not confuse these young teens and do it without protection. Be open with knowledge about sex. Teens pregnancy and childbearing impose significant social and economic consequences on teen parents and their children in the short and long term. Birth control is essential for teenagers and should be used if a teens become sexually active. Parents should always teach little children about birth control in case a teen becomes curious and decide to have sex. Implementation of contraceptives does help people to prevent reproduction in scientific terms, as this will also provide people the avoidance to engage in pregnancy and early childbirth, especially in forming an unprepared family on young. This is the first step of the action in which the organization will disseminate contraceptives to the public while briefing them about it and the importance of it. Various contraceptive techniques are also taught in school as a form of teen pregnancy prevention. Although abstinence remains the foremost effective method of preventing pregnancy among teenagers, it's a proven fact that a major number of them will engage in sexual relation. As a result, it is critical that teens receive comprehensive information on how to use various contraceptive techniques responsibly. The issue that arises as a result of this is that teenagers aren't having enough information about the various types of birth control, condoms, and other methods of prevention that are available. Contraception or contraceptives is slowly effective in avoiding pregnancies and infection in sex education classes, according to Helen Blimpman. This contraceptive lesson should also contain information on how to obtain the various kinds of birth control. Jocelyn Elders has also advocated the aim of reducing teen pregnancy with the provision of contraceptive. This is often some way to make sure contraceptives used for several young teens who, instead of visiting their parents for help in obtaining birth control, value more highly to lie without protection just because that protection isn't meant available to them. Teenagers should be aware of the hard reality of parenting as well as the devastating effect of an unplanned pregnancy on both the mother and the child. Teenage mothers must be aware of the long-term influence their children will have on society, as well as the high possibility of the cycle repeating once their child reaches teenage. Teens should also be aware that unplanned pregnancy will have a negative impact on other aspects of their lives. Teens are required to rethink whether sex is worth the risk of forever changing their lives and the lives of their future children when they are exposed to such knowledge concerning the result of an unwanted pregnancy. As a result, parents and schools should educate their children about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. When it comes to sex, parents can have a big impact on their children's decisions if they take the time to be involved. Schools can also play a role in reducing pregnancy by providing necessary information and encouraging teens to make responsible sex decisions. As a result, adults should ensure that teenagers have a thorough understanding of abstinence, contraceptives, sex education, and various types of birth control and the consequence of sexual engagement.
As a teenager, we must choose not to have sex. If we wish to be sexually active, talk freely with our parents or other trusted people about how they can acquire birth control. Consult a healthcare practitioner to learn about the best birth control options for them and make sure they're using it and condoms correctly every time.
Once again, I will gladly end the discourse with an awareness. Be aware and to be aware. Once again, I will gladly end the discourse with an awareness. Be aware and to be aware.